So you were really afraid of this place as a child?
It wasn't the Necropolis itself, but what was draped around it. Have you ever been frightened by the thought of dying, Rook?
Hasn't everyone, from time to time?
When I was younger, it happened more often than that. That's when I discovered I possess a great terror of dying. It goes beyond dread. Can't be reasoned with or soothed over. It comes without warning. In the dead of night, sunlit streets, a raw, strangling fear struck somewhere deep past the heart.
That's an issue for a necromancer.
Oddly, I discovered I wasn't alone. I debated this fear with friends. I argued with teachers. Yet, it lingered. Manfred's right. That's maudlin enough. There are struggles, but a watcher should always find peace amongst the graves. And what sort of homecoming would this be for you if we didn't end with some light refreshment?
Did you set all this up to make a good impression?
Of course not. I was only...
Because it's working.
Then it's my pleasure to share the tranquility of this place with you.
Not a flinch. You really know what you're doing.
Experience is the greatest teacher, and an open heart to what the spirits need.
I bet not every necromancer looks so dapper when they're working, though.
You choose the most extraordinary moments for compliments.
Is that bad?
Quite the opposite.
I like how passionate you are about your work.
Death is one of the primordial forces. It breaks bonds as it lays the ground for the new. At times, there's something stirring about the elegance of it.
I never heard the other Watchers put it that way.
I always choose my words carefully.
If it helps, you've got someone who cares right next to you.
That's very dear of you, but I'll be fine.
It's so cute how you're such a bad liar.
Things used to be much better between Johanna and me. Ah, hello there. Just admiring how carefully the Fade is woven into this place, as cultivated as a palace garden.
That's old elven stuff for you. Magic everywhere you look, and also where you don't.
I do envy you, Rook.
Really?
You know how seldom Watchers leave Navarra, if ever. You've already traveled more of Thedas than most of us see in a lifetime. What adventures you've had.
You cut a pretty intriguing figure yourself. Do you really think of me as some grand adventurer?
Well, something thrills at traveling with a daring young woman who's racing to stop an apocalypse. Especially if she's shown unexpected interest in a new companion.
You have a very charming way of putting things.
Well, thank you. Perhaps those years at the lectern have proved useful. May I show you something of the greater fade here?
Go ahead.
Close your eyes. Take a breath. Slow. Deep. Be born on the great currents. See now as they see. When I talk to the dead, their echoes abide with me. Thoughts and passions, hopes and desires. The shades of death have more intricacy than even a young watcher may know, Rook. If your attentions go beyond charming flattery, that would interest me, indeed.
You know, I've never seen another watcher do what you...
You finished the reagent. Excellent work, Manfred. I must tend to this, but I'd be delighted if we found each other later.
In memory of Rupert and Eleonora Valkarin, they walk eternity hand in hand.
After I became a watcher, I erected a proper shrine to my parents. When I come to talk, I like to think they listen. Well, don't be shy. Introduce yourself.
I'd have dressed better if I'd known we'd be seeing family.
Oh, you look splendid.
I'm Rook, also a Morn Watcher. Best greetings.
Do you remember your parents?
Some memories are bright. Others are akin to those dim early morning dreams one gets sometimes. Lately, I wondered what they'd think of our current course, the choices ahead.
Your lichdom?
What would they have wanted me to be?
Happy with someone who cares for you.
Shroud's Kiss. I've always loved the legend around this flower. They say it grows on lovers' graves, and that one moves closer to the fade simply by inhaling its fragrance.
Is that true?
It is when I will it, my dear.
What else?
What a day of unexpected splendor. How did you find everything?
I never ate this well when I was training in the Necropolis.
You may be interested to know I was permitted to raise a few cooks from the royal crypts tonight.
Wait, not from the tomb of Veneska IV?
I'd hoped the evening might impress. The amount of work on you worries me, Rook. responsibility exacts a toll on the body.
Sorry to disappoint. I'm feeling great.
Oh, that bright cheer. I do ask that you at least avoid putting pressure on that stiff left wrist.
It's a little stiff. Impressed you spotted it.
Well, I am familiar with the finer points of anatomy. It's good we made time for this. A couple should get to know one another in comfort.
Time to dig into our feelings?
I'd be delighted if the mood moves you.
Devastating charm aside, what do you like about me?
Apart from the compliment of your interest,
Come on.
darling, it's gratifying a fresh-faced adventurer noticed me at all. And your spirit does charm, but there's also something quite indomitable about you, Rook. It inspires.
Aw, thanks. Okay, so, Emmrich, I wanted to tell you something. You're my first anything. I've never been with anyone romantically.
We can move slowly, and I'm glad you chose me.
It's been good so far.
Oh, excellent.
What's your favorite color?
Well, can I only choose one?
Let me guess. Black? Green? Yellow, but like a bone yellow?
Lilac.
Of course you went into a flower.
It's such a pretty shade of purple. It brings thoughts of spring. And what's your favorite shade of color?
Rich purple. The kind you get with those really expensive dyes.
It's the color of royalty in some kingdoms.
Maybe I've got ambitions. Anyway, should we enjoy the garden?
Certainly. They're wondering what we're up to. Wisps are ever attracted to the gardens.
Like you?
The Fade is close here. As our spirits I count as guides and friends. Beyond that, I feel there are mysteries past our comprehension. Something beyond the weft of magic or deepest Fade. When I'm fortunate, I spy suggestions of them here.
Like when you're out looking at stars and you stare so long you're dizzy?
Yes, the indefinable, tipping its faintest reach into ourselves.
Totally what I meant.
Sometimes, my dear, I think you indulge me.
When I'm in the mood.
I'm always here to talk about it. You know that, right?
It's a comfort, darling. Truly, but... Oh, Johanna was never beset by these sort of fears.
You're adorable when you get excited about things like this.
Well, who wouldn't be, darling? Such a rare find.
Time to find Hezenkos. He's all yours, Emmrich. He's still got twice your backbone.
I see Valkaran somehow did net himself a paramour.
Johanna! Listen to me!
I love you.
I love you too, my darling. I am come to be judged by the dead.
Emmrich?
I see so much more clearly now. The deeper eddies of the Fade, the pulse of the Necropolis. I have been through blood and darkness, and I have emerged into light.
Emmrich, now that you're... do you still feel...
Oh, my love, come walk the gardens with me. Darling, I'm just finishing reviewing my bequeathments. It made me consider a topic I must broach. We face Gillenane soon. When we do, there's no reason you couldn't stay back a ways.
What?
I'll be far more difficult to kill. You needn't face her head on.
First, no. Second, what brought this on?
I can see the life course through you, my love. Like a thread of diamond flame. Yet, I will lose you to time, Rook. What if I can't bear that for eternity?
Stop moping over something that hasn't happened.
I am not moping.
You're overthinking it.
Rook, there are new realities I must face in this form.
You going to drag this out every time we go up against something dangerous?
Perhaps it might get you to listen.
I just want you to be happy, you idiot.
Rook,
We should get ready. I have to leave soon.
Why does Emmrich have to... I mean, I know he's just...
Darling, I wanted to say...
Yeah, about that argument.
It's no time to apologize, is it?
We'll talk back home, Emmrich. I promise.
Darling, are you certain you're all right?
You know, for the first time in a while, I really am.
Rook, let us send word to all our allies. Your only task for now should be to rest. I hope you're feeling more yourself soon. I'll be back. Rook, dearest, please trust me. I must take you to the Necropolis before we confront Elganon.
I trust you, Emmrich.
Thank you, my love.
Why do you look mortal? I thought no one in the Necropolis minds that you're a lich.
I didn't want to alarm any citizens sheltering down here from Elganon's vulgar display of power. And the Necropolis's enchantments will help detect what we must know. There's no mark of the cursed Solus left on you. Darling, I thought I'd lost you forever in the Fade.
I thought so too. It was... I don't know what that was.
A dream. A reflexive curse you overcame with your own reflection.
Thought I knew all about the Veil as a Watcher. I still don't know how you found me.
There are things in the Fade we cannot circumscribe. I'm grateful it returned what's most dear to me. But you've been through so much these past days, you must need rest.
Emmrich? You know you don't have to hide your face from me.
I will let nothing part us again, my love. Not in this, nor any other world. Rook? Are you awake?
I don't know.
It's morning, my love.
You sure?
Far above, the stars have just given way to the sun.
Oh, that is a beautiful way to say you woke me up at the crack of dawn.
I always used to get up about this time.
Ugh. Quiet in this part of the Necropolis, as always.
The world waits above, but we have some time to tarry.
What should we do?
Whatever you desire.
When we touch, it's like I can feel the magic humming in you.
Really? How fascinating. I hadn't considered it.
Yes, but maybe we could...
Ah. If it pleases you.
Yes, please.
Tash and I have taken over tending the plants in Harding's room. Truth be told, I'm not sure she remembered to water them very often, but they bloomed for her all the same.
She saved my life. All our lives.
All of Thedas owes Lace Harding a debt she would never have even considered.
We'll do her proud in Minrathous.
And against Elganon. It is once more the eve before we face a god. I would move the world before I lost you again, my love.
How's things back home, Emmrich?
Outbreaks of malicious spirits, panic at the eclipse. The Watchers are helping keep order. Fortunately, we're not as vulnerable to darkspawn as some other kingdoms.
You can't blight what's already dead.
Ah, speaking of which, some of the same undead you stopped during the War of the Banners are now tasked with supporting our living legions.
It's probably for the better I'm not home right now, then.
Best to let our undead gentry sate themselves in war. I've one request, Rook. Should I fall in battle, certain rites must be performed for a lich. It is crucial that you return my body to the Necropolis.
If you fall, I will.
Thank you. And I beg you, my love, do not despair.
When Gillenane died, it was like the Fade spilled into the real world for a moment.
A small taste of what Solus would have done if you hadn't stopped him from tearing down the Veil back when this started.
It was a team effort. Me, Harding, Nev, and Varric.
We ask you to plunge back into battle without a proper chance to mourn. I wish I'd known Master Tethras. That you had such kind memories of him speaks of a gentle heart. I'm relieved beyond measure that we took the time to visit Blackthorn Manor, Rook. Given Johanna's partnership with the Venatori, I'm sure they would have eagerly employed her bone construct had we not stopped her. Whenever you're ready, my love.
I believe in this team, in all of us. So let's get it done.
There's nowhere I'd rather be, dearest.
You got us this far, Rook. Lead the way.
A man exploring worlds beyond mortal existence. There are stories of love.
But those stories aren't over.